Hello everyone, and welcome to Bearkat Chat with Blake Childress, the one and only interview-based talk show that students and faculty can rely on for interview-based talk show media. As always, I'm your host, Blake Childress, and I would like to welcome my guest for today, the lovely Dr. Judith Clemens-Smucker, who's an assistant professor of mass communication, film, media studies, and film theory, and is also a published author of 13 whole books. Thank you for coming to the show today, Judy.
Glad to be here.
So, first of all, I want to ask about the journey that brought you to Sam Houston State University. Your previous positions at your previous jobs. How did those positions help prepare you for the job you have here at Sam Houston State?
Well, some of my previous jobs were I worked in theater, in live theater, and I feel like that's a great opportunity to work with a whole bunch of creative people, and you see how a bunch of people work, and you see how their minds work, and it's very imaginative, and it's a good opportunity to learn how to work with a bunch of people, and no matter what the job is, to be creative and imaginative and make sure that things are working well.
Creative position from a previous job led to this new creative job of discussing creative stuff.
Yes, and then as a writer, that's more of an individual kind of creativity. So it's my own brain having to try to figure things out and work. And I do a lot of writing in this job too. It's not fiction, but all of that writing has helped me feel very confident in my writing, and I can write pretty quickly if I need to. But then again, I have worked with an editor, worked with a publisher, and all of that too. So working as a team again, and I feel like our department is a team, and we work together here at SAM. So I think all of that led to
where you are now.
Led to that too. Yeah.
Awesome. So I read through some of your academic publications, and I noticed there was a lot of critical social analysis of a lot of television shows. And I wanted to ask, do you think viewers of entertainment need to think critically about their movies and TV? And why do you think that's important for modern audiences?
Okay, yeah, I think that is a great question. I'm glad you asked me that because I think it is really important. I think we are surrounded by screens every day, whether it's our phone or an actual television or
quantity over quality.
I mean, they're just everywhere. Yeah. And I think unless we are thinking about what we're watching, we're just taking in all of this stuff that a lot of it we're not even choosing necessarily. It's just put in front of us. So yeah, I think it is important to be thinking about what we're watching. What is it saying? What is it doing? What is its place in culture, and what is it telling us about other people? Because if we aren't thinking about those things, we're just taking in all this stuff.
It's just mindless drivel,
Yes, but it also becomes a part of us as we watch it, and so it's important to to be considering what kinds of things we're taking in.
These stories are ultimately about us and how we learn from them.
Yes,
right?
absolutely, about our society.
Nice.
Yes.
So I also wanted to ask, seeing you publish more than 13 books, a lot of them have been mystery novels, one's a nonfiction biography, and as a writer myself, I wanted to ask about the process you have as a writer, from conception to publication. How does that work for you?
Sure. I find that the whole process takes about a year for me for a book. So you begin with the planning stages. I'm pretty much an outliner. There have been some times where I've been a pantser, which is you just write by the seat of your pants. But most often I find an outline works well for me, but it's a very flexible outline. Things can change, but it's good to have a beginning, middle, and end that you're aiming for, just to know where you're going. So that usually takes a couple months just to get that prepared. And then, it would take, several months to write the actual book. And then after that, it's going to go to your first readers, it's going to go to your editor, and they're all going to have suggestions for changes. And by the time that all happens, it's about a year. But I found, the most important thing is to just be consistent. And if you write a little bit each day, you're going to be surprised how fast it adds up for you.
I'm curious, since I've written screenplays, I usually get 5 pages a day. What's your sort of writing per day?
I think a goal of about 1,000 to 1,200 words per day is a good goal.
Just going out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, That about wraps it up here. I wanted to ask, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, I appreciate you having me here, and I love being here at SAM. I love seeing creative students and seeing what they're doing. It's really fun and exciting.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming on our show today.
Thank you.
Shake your hand just to do it. I also want to thank all of our lovely crew for all the hard work y'all are doing for the show. Great job, guys. And I want to thank you specifically for watching our show. And have a good night, all you Bearkats.